Hello there and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about the Forbidden Reach, and more specifically we're going to do a zone overview of everything that is going on in patch 10.07 with the return to the Forbidden Reach content. And there's a lot going on there for a mini patch, lots of transmog, lots of mounts, lots of achievements, lots of things to get and collect, and of course gear up as well. So yeah, this is going to be a big one. But before we jump into everything going on with the return to the Forbidden Reach, just want to shout out my Twitch, twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me stream Dragonflight, Dragonflight PTR, Wrath King Classic, and more, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM every single day. Right, so yes, in patch 10.07, we are finally going back to the Forbidden Reach, the Drakthir starting zone. Obviously, Razageth has been defeated now, and we can finally go back there. And with 10.07 and the Forbidden Reach, there is a ton of content over here to do. So yeah, we're going to go through everything that is available for you in the Return to the Forbidden Reach kind of mini patch of patch 10.07. So first and foremost, the Return to the Forbidden Reach will contain story content. As far as I'm aware, there's around 2 chapters here. Now, they haven't been testable on the PTR, and hopefully they stay that way and they stay encrypted until the release of patch 10.07, and we can take a look at some of this brand new story content that's coming along. Now, Blizzard have previously mentioned that the story of patch 10.07 will lead directly into patch 10.1, so I'm looking forward to seeing what story beats we get there. I think it's going to be really fun, hopefully some cutscenes, some voice acting, and some really good questing. So yeah, kind of the main point of this for, you know, your average player is the story content here. Now, on top of all that, there is a ton to do over in the Forbidden Reach. So, firstly, there are 8 brand new dragon glyphs to collect. Yes, you can fly around the Forbidden Reach and collect 8 new dragon glyphs. Now, with these new dragon points, you can unlock 2 brand new abilities for your Dragonriding Drake. This is kind of a stop ability. So yeah, when you press it, your Drake essentially just stops in mid-air. This is going to be a new ability in 10.07, which is acquired from collecting those new glyphs on the Dragon Isles. And the other ability is just a passive which affects the stop ability. Staying with Dragonriding, there's also going to be 6 brand new Dragonriding races on the Forbidden Reach. These do have normal mode, advanced mode, and of course reverse mode. So a ton of race content coming if you're into that over in the Forbidden Reach. Really fun races, of course, and that does include a brand new world quest over here for Dragonriding racing as well. While you're on the Forbidden Reach, you will also have a bunch of brand new daily quests. These reward rep for the Obsidian Warders and the Dark Talon rep. These are the 2 reputations of the Drakthir, the city reps for the Drakthir, so the Forbidden Reach is essentially going to be a nice and easy way to obtain rep with either the Alliance Drakthir or the Horde Drakthir, as that rep has not really been touched since the beginning of the expansion. So yeah, just doing these dailies will give reputation for that, and it also will give rep for the other major factions as well. One thing you'll notice while you're doing all these daily quests and killing things on the Forbidden Reach is that everything drops elemental overflow. There is so much elemental overflow on the Forbidden Reach, it's actually insane. As of right now on the PTR, rares are dropping around 1,000 elemental overflow per kill. There's a bunch of different rares on the Forbidden Reach, obviously on PTR, most of them are up all the time, but I would imagine once it has launched, they're going to be kind of few and far between. But yeah, rares are dropping around 1,000, general NPCs are dropping around 20 or so. There's just elemental overflow absolutely everywhere, so if you're still looking to get some of that Primal Storm gear, this is definitely going to be the place to do it, and you know, obviously you can get mounts through that as well. But yeah, if you are tirelessly farming elemental overflow right now, I'd probably stop and wait till 10.07 because it's going to be extremely plentiful when that patch launches. So rares and treasures are also dropping something else, and that is brand new gear tokens for your alts or for your main. So these tokens are account wide, so these can be tradable across characters, and what these gear tokens are item level 385 Primal Storm gear. If you haven't got the epic Primal Storm gear, this is going to be an extremely easy way to obtain it. As mentioned, it drops from rares, it drops from treasures, drops from random NPCs as well. So if you get a token for like a play item on your hunter, you can send that over to a warrior, use that token to get a 385 item. But we'll talk a little bit more about gearing on the Forbidden Reach in a minute. Another big purpose of the Return to the Forbidden Reach content is reputation catch-up with the major factions. So in 10.07, they're bringing in a Renown Envoy system. So the way that this works is very simple. Every day you'll have a choice of which major faction to represent. Once you've picked a major faction, you'll get 10% increased reputation with that major faction for 24 hours. And it'll unlock a brand new daily quest from the Renown Envoy of your choice. So that's really good. Some really good catch up there, obviously, for your characters if you haven't already got it. Obviously, if you're a new alt and just need to catch up with Renown, this is going to be a really great place to do so. These new Renown Envoy vendors also sell unique items, such as a new pet and mount, and also some new Dragonriding customization items, and and these are all purchasable for Elemental Overflow. The last major system of the Return to Forbidden Reach content, before we get into the rewards, is the Zskera Vaults. Now you see people calling this Torghast 2.0, it literally could not be further from Torghast, so you don't need to worry about that. Essentially what this is a puzzle. It's a puzzle system, which is kind of enjoyable. Now the way that it works pretty much is that you get keys for the Zskera Vaults. Now these keys can drop from treasures or rares or daily quests. You basically get them everywhere, and these are also account bound, so you can trade these across characters if you like. Once you get into the vaults, you'll see that there are a ton of doors everywhere. Now pretty much here, you just use the keys to unlock the doors. Inside these doors are different chests or NPCs or different puzzles, and yeah, that's what you gotta do. You gotta open the doors and figure out the puzzle. One example I can give is that, like, you'll go into one door and it'll be fiery and you won't be able to get the chest in there. Now what you want to do is open up another door and hope that there is an item in there that will give you a fire protection shield. Once you get that fire protection shield, you go back to the other one and you can open the chests in there. And there's a lot of things similar to that, where you got to kind of get lucky with the different doors. Now the vault will reset every single week, so the doors will close back up every single week, and there'll be a new vault with new NPCs. Sometimes it's spiders, sometimes it's Ventureco, sometimes it's Naga, sometimes it's, yeah, random NPCs in there, and that will reset every single week. There is different achievements tied to the vault. There is obviously a reward system, which we'll go into in a moment, but the long short of the vault is that it's a puzzle, and you go in there and you just figure it all out, really. There's nothing really too much to it. It's definitely not Torghast, it's not time gated. It is just a case of getting keys and going in there and opening up doors. So I mentioned it a few times, so let's get into it. Gearing and rewards. What is the point of the Forbidden Reach? What can you get here? Why are we doing all of this? So as mentioned, obviously you get the Obsidian Water rep or the Dark Talon rep from the daily quest, so that's just another reputation. But of course there's a bunch of achievements here as well. So achievements for Dragonriding Glyphs, Dragonriding Races, the Vault, the Forbidden Reach, the rares, the treasures, everything over there. There is achievements for all of it. So that'll be some pretty casual content for you to do if the gear does not interest you. Speaking of gear, I previously mentioned about the 385 tokens for the Epic Primal Storm gear, so that's all fine and good. You can get that right now in 10.0.5, but with 10.07 there is also an upgrade to this gear. So the 385 Epic Primal Storm gear can now be upgraded to 395 with an item called the Untapped Forbidden Knowledge. This item comes from rares or treasures. I've seen it on daily quests as well. This comes from pretty much everywhere. It's also in the vault as well, so a few of these around, definitely pretty RNG in regards to how many and when you get them, but yeah, you will be seeing this item quite a few times, and this will be able to upgrade your current Epic Primal Storm gear to item level 395 if you like. If that item level of 395 is not really relevant to you, you can still do this because there is a brand new Transmog attached to it. So all of these sets use a new appearance, or not really a new appearance, which has not been used in the game so far, and that is the green Primal Storm appearance. This is available for all of the armor class and the weapons, so once you upgrade to that item level 395, that will unlock the appearance for that specific item. Speaking of Transmog, there's also a vendor on the Forbidden Reach which is selling some unused colors of various items from Dragonflight, including some of the kind of questing items and weapons and things like that. Those are going to be available. Also sells the tabard, the Drakthir tabard, so if you want that Drakthir tabard on another character, you can buy that. And it also sells the Drakthir racial mount if you didn't pick that up during the Drakthir starting zone, or I believe the vendor was also in Valdrakken, but if you haven't picked them up yet, they are also available to buy on the Forbidden Reach. Another item you may have heard about with some slight controversy behind it is a new ring called the Onyx Annulet. Now the Onyx Annulet is a brand new ring coming in 10.07, more akin to the Mechagon trinket than anything else in the game. Now the way that you get this is extremely simple. Once you unlock the Zskera Vaults for the very first time, you'll see a ring on the floor. You simply just start this quest and take it back to the village, and that will give you the base item for the Onyx Annulet. Now as you can see, it has 3 empty sockets inside it. Now with 10.07 we're going to get a brand new item type called a Primordial Stone. There are absolutely tons of Primordial Stones in the game in 10.07, and these go straight into your Onyx Annulet. There's a couple ways to get these stones. A lot of the stones will just drop randomly in the Zskera Vaults when opening chests behind the doors, which is the kind of main reason why you're going to go into the vaults in the first place, and these will drop at item level 411. There's also a vendor in the village which will sell tokens for the different types of stones. Now, inside each of these tokens is a chance of one of 4 different stones, so it is a little RNG here. So if you want like a certain fire one, you might have to buy a few of these and hope that the one that you're looking for is in there. But as mentioned, there's around about 25 or something different stones, and no doubt it'll be simmed to death, and you'll know exactly which ones are perfect for you. But yeah, once you get these stones, you put them into your Onyx Annulet, and that will give you the different powers that they obtain. One example of like the kind of power that you can get from these stones is the Storm Infused Stone. So with this one, when you equip this stone, critically striking an enemy has a chance to shock them, and 2 nearby enemies dealing 9,300 nature damage. So yeah, they're pretty good. It's a pretty good little boost in damage for sure, and no doubt there's going to be like the perfect combination as mentioned, but there's so many different stones. It is a lot of fun to play around with. One thing that's really nice about this as well is that you can just simply take out the stones as well, so you don't have to destroy them all the time. You can just take them out and switch and change them as much as you like. And if you get ones that you don't need or duplicates, you can destroy them, which turn into dormant primordial fragments, which is the currency to buy those tokens which I mentioned before. As mentioned, these stones come at a base eye level of 411. They can be upgraded all the way up to item level 424. This is done using the work order system. Jewel crafters can create an item which can upgrade them. If you are a jewel crafter and want to learn this skill, the pattern drops from a rare on the Forbidden Reach, so keep an eye out for that. So yeah, each of your primordial stones can be upgraded to item level 424. Fairly easy actually. The materials to create this upgrade item are extremely easy to come by. So yeah, the Onyx Annulet, a lot of fun, a lot of power to be had there, and at the end of the day, this system is just simply there for a little bit of boost at the end of Season 1 of Dragonflight, and will be replaced in Season 2 with patch 10.1. And finally, of course, the most important part of the Forbidden Reach is brand new mounts. As of right now, as of the recording of this video, there are 4 mounts to be obtained on the Forbidden Reach. The first one is from the Centaur Renown Envoy vendor. This is the Noble Bruffalon, and this will set you back 100,000 Elemental Overflow. Yeah, so if you've got a lot of Elemental Overflow sitting around, or you just want to farm it for a little bit on the Forbidden Reach, this is a pretty expensive mount. But as mentioned, Elemental Overflow is pretty plentiful in the Forbidden Reach, so you'll probably get it relatively quickly. It's definitely a really nice mount nonetheless, and fairly easy to obtain. The next mount is the Gooey Snail Mental. So this is probably the best mount of it all. This is the blue variant of the Snail mount. This is finally coming in 10.07. So to get this mount, you have to get items called Leftover Elemental Slime. Now, per our research, it looks like they drop from the big kind of elemental event on the Forbidden Reach. These spawn up every couple hours, and you basically just got to defeat an elemental boss, and there is a chance that it will drop Leftover Elemental Slime. Once you get 50 of this slime, you combine it, and this will create the Gooey Snail Elemental, which is fantastic. Great looking mount, probably the best snail mount of them all. Very glad we're finally getting this mount in 10.07. So yeah, it's just going to take maybe a couple days or a couple weeks of grinding. We're not really sure on the kind of amount of time right now. The way to get it is just to keep on top of those kind of big elemental events that happen every couple hours on the Forbidden Reach. The next mount is the Mossy Mammoth. So this is a pretty interesting one. So when you're in the vaults, you'll get items that combine into each other, essentially like one of those Russian kind of doll things. So you just keep combining items, and eventually you'll get the Mossy Mammoth. I got this pretty quickly on the PTR, so I don't know what it's going to be like on live, and these last 2 mounts have been a little buggy, so yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how you get the Mossy Mammoth. You essentially just combine different blue items to eventually create the mount. Again, just need to open a couple of vault doors and you'll get this mount pretty quickly on the Forbidden Reach, and this uses one of the brand new Mammoth mount models. The last mount that we found on the Forbidden Reach is the Ancient Salamantha mount. I actually don't know what this mount looks like because it was kind of hot fixed in. It's been broken for a long time, and we honestly have no idea where this comes from either. It just kind of arrived in a lot of the PTR testers' bags from just playing on the Forbidden Reach. So it seems like it's relatively easy to get. I'm not too sure on this. I think it might just be a random drop from one of the rares potentially, or just from the vault. But yeah, it was a broken item for a long time and it seems to be working, but unfortunately we don't know what the model is. We obviously just know that it is one of the brand new kind of Salamantha mounts, similar to the one that you could get through Elemental Overflow. So yeah, those are the 4 mounts of the Forbidden Reach, and that's basically it. Yeah, hopefully this video wasn't too long and hopefully I explained everything okay, but the Return of the Forbidden Reach content is coming in patch 10.07 and will be available to anyone that is level 70, so you don't need to have any like prerequisite renown or story modes done. It looks like it is just going to kind of pop up for your level 70 characters once that patch launches. So yeah, there you go guys. Let me know what you think of the Return to Forbidden Reach content. I'm very happy about it. I think it's great that we're getting this much content in a 0.7 patch. Looking forward to kind of keeping me busy until patch 10.1 launches later on in the summer. As for the release date, We still don't know. Hopefully we'll find out very, very soon. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. If you liked this video, please do leave a like on it and subscribe. If you want to support me outside of YouTube, I have a Patreon, and you can follow me on Twitter at MrGMYT. I also have a Discord channel as well. And as mentioned, I am now streaming on twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me stream Dragonflight PTR, 10.07 PTR, 10.1 PTR, all of the testing for those patches. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you want to check me out streaming, guys, twitch.tv/MrGM. every single day. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.